how feminism creates everything that they hate. We got a lot of feminists out there that are actually using the excuse of rape on an everyday basis to justify their cause. Well, let's see here. If you get rid of fathers from the household and you allow a little boy to be raised by his mother who does never discipline him and never educates him and never teaches him boundaries and respect for women, guess what you're going to end up with? Rapists. It is a possibility. Or he becomes a drug lord, or a thief, or a criminal. You see, when you take the father out of a household, you are taking away the only source of discipline that child will ever have. You are saying to the child, here you go, run free, do what you want, do whatever you want, your father won't stop you, your father's not here. And then the mother will go to social services and say, I can't take care of my son anymore. He's completely reckless. He's completely wild. I can't handle him anymore. He's uncontrollable. Is the boy uncontrollable? Or does he need a father to control him? See, feminists love to act like men are the big issue here. They are the big issue. Women are the big issue. Because if you get rid of the father in a young boy's life, what you're going to end up with is everything that feminists hate. So explain this vicious circle to me. Explain how, by getting rid of a father in a household, we are serving the community. How we are helping the world. Tell me how single mothers living off the government, sucking on the government's titty, is helping the world. Show me. Show me how women not surrendering to men and not being obedient and stop being rebellious. Tell me how that is serving humanity. It's not. So we got rebellious women today, women with attitudes today, women that don't want to submit to their husbands. Even though they got into a relationship and got married to the man, they still don't want to be submissive. So the relationship goes wrong. Then she wins all the money, takes the kids away, and she's seen as some fucking hero because she doesn't want to do what she's supposed to do, submit and be a wife. Not a woman out there with a career, but a wife, a woman, a mother. Women are loving to put careers first nowadays, and they act like that's the most biggest thing in their life is their stupid career. Only later on to find out when they're 60 years old, hey, I got no kids. Hey, I got no grandchildren. Hey, I'm just by myself. Dead. That's your average woman nowadays. These feminists don't tell women this, but this is exactly what the average woman is nowadays. Okay? Be successful in life, make a lot of money for herself, die alone. Just like men used to go out in the world, make a lot of money, die alone. That's what men used to do all the time. Now women are doing it. Except women are now dying at a later age than what men used to do. So, once again, how is feminism helping the world at all, even a single little bit? You think that women have voting rights because they had voting rights just made feminism good? Are you kidding me? Show me a woman that likes to vote. Show me a woman on voting day morning at 8 o'clock is standing there at the gates ready to vote. Huh? Show me one. The only ones you see are the elderly women and the women in the 40s and 30s. You'll never see the youngsters out there ready to vote. Men used to have to tie their vote to their life. When a man used to vote, he had to back it up with his life. Women don't have to have that. There is no mandatory draft for women. Yet they have the right to vote. So the one species here that doesn't have to lay her life down, but will send the other species out to lay his life down for her, is now having a vote and a say in the matter. Hello, that is insanity. Would you let your little children have a vote and a say as well? Again, men put their lives on the line and back up their vote. Women do not put their lives on the line and back up their vote. Instead, they send the men out to back up the vote that they made. So in other words, if men were against the war and women were for the war, they would send the men out to do the war for them. That is disturbing. Women should not have a right to vote because they do not put their butts on the line. Men did, men always will, and men always have. There are many cemeteries in this world today about World War II, and it is filled with Canadians, and all of them are, guess what? Men. There's no females in those war grave cemeteries at all. People don't even understand that political correctness is nothing more than what people would assume the mental abuses of a psychopath, which we call walking on eggshells. Walking on eggshells is when you're afraid of somebody, you're afraid to say the wrong thing, you're afraid to do the wrong thing, so you don't no longer act like yourself, but you're being correct, and you're being friendly, and you're being politically correct. You are walking on eggshells. So let's see here. The United States of America has the World Trade Centers come down. This puts America into post-traumatic stress disorder. They're fearful. They're scared. So what does the government do? Keep talking about terrorists. Keep making it act like, oh, terrorists will strike anywhere at any time. People are getting more scared and more scared and more scared. Now they're afraid to say anything about Islam. You're walking on eggshells. And this is the entire reason that everything in America is going to hell right now. People in America cannot even understand that our president, John F. Kennedy, was actually shot in the head by the same people that are running the government today. So I'll say it again. The people that shot John F. Kennedy are the exact same people that are in the office today. America has been hijacked, folks, and if you haven't realized it in the last 50 years since John F. Kennedy has died, feminism came in, television started taking over, commercialism started coming in. America has become the dumping grounds for the last 60 years, ever since John F. Kennedy's been shot. America has become the dumping ground. The dumping ground. Meanwhile, their own people can't afford a decent dinner. They can barely pay their rent. Detroit City has gone completely downhill, and nobody seems to understand why. Because the country has been hijacked. The enemy of America now runs America. And I don't know how many times I got to keep saying this before it dawns on the people. And I understand a lot of people have been dumbed down over the last 60 years from the little idiot box over there telling them everything's okay. Everything's fine. Everything's okay. Don't worry. Don't worry. Tonight in the news, a kitten rescued from a tree. Instead of tonight in the news, men fought for liberty and won. You don't see that stuff. All you see is bad things on the news. Look at the news. It's always bad. Or it's something to lure you in that is good. But then it turns into bad. There's a reason for that. You guys are being brainwashed into fear. Fear, fear, fear. Watch my video, Fear is the Path to the Darkside. Seriously. Stop living in fear. And you know who the best thing is you could do to get rid of that fear? Is to live through Jesus Christ. Because I used to have a lot of fear myself. But it wasn't about America, it was about other things in life, things that were really bothering me. When I turned my life to Jesus Christ, I no longer had the fear. Because I always knew He had my back, and He still has my back. And you all need to start realizing that. That way you won't be always so afraid. You're afraid of your own government, you're afraid of your own next door neighbor, you're afraid of your media, you're afraid of everybody. And you're all walking on eggshells. Then you got the psychopaths that don't follow social norms, who are not afraid, who laughed when the World Trade Centers came down. You see, you have now made the paradise for psychopaths. While all of you walk on eggshells and you're all politically correct and you're all acting holier as shit, the parasites of the world, the psychopaths and sociopaths, are loving it. America has become an asylum that has been taken over by the inmates. And I'm sad to see it go that way because I am an American who now lives in Europe because he's become a political refugee, who cannot stand what America has become. The dumbing down and the brainwashing is so massive there. It's pathetic. You think patriotism means something nowadays? All it means is that you're a globalist, brainwashed sucker and a fool. Don't be so happy about military men going off to war and coming back and acting like they're a hero. They're not a hero, they're just a brainwashed moron.